Internet, Eric here. Well, if you have been following my channel or if you know me, you know I'm a huge fan of the Predator franchise. I have I've done a video on each of the films. I have done videos on the crossovers they've had with aliens. And you know what? Everyone else is talking about it right now who likes to do YouTube videos, obviously. And of course, me being a fan of the franchise, I'd have to jump in that pool as well. Today, I'm going to discuss the prequel that just came out, Prey. Now, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I discuss plot spoilers, specific scenes, all that crap. And obviously, if this movie, literally as of this recording, came out this past Friday, there will be spoilers. I don't know if they're going to be only minor, major, what have you. I don't plan out what I'm going to say in these videos. I don't edit because I'm lazy. So if you haven't seen Prey, I might spoil something. Chance you're going to take. The plot to this, the basic premise of this is we were following a group of Comanche Native Americans, and our main character is a female named Naru, and she doesn't want to be the typical female, I guess you would say. She doesn't want to be just a gatherer, a medicine woman, what have you. She wants to be able to join the hunts with the males and prove that she can do it. She's already an excellent tracker. And during her spiritual journey, I think that's what it is, because they do use a lot of Comanche words. Her, along with her brother and the rest of the, I guess you would say, male tribe, the younger male tribe. And while they're doing this, a predator lands on Earth, and shit happens. I know this takes place, I think, 300 years before the first Predator movie. And here's my thoughts. First off, Amber Midthunder as Naru, I thought she was really, really good. She has really good chemistry with the other actors. I like how, especially her brother, we'll get to that. Well, let's just get out of the way. A lot of people think this movie is woke and that she's a Mary Sue, which a Mary Sue is basically a female protagonist who doesn't have any weaknesses. And that's not true, because what I like about her is she wants to be one of the males. Not necessarily be one of the males, but she wants to be seen as an equal. She wants to show that she has the skills to do what any of her tribesmen can do. And she fails a lot. She fails in the very beginning. They're trying to hunt a mountain lion, and she's at the top of the tree. She thinks about how they should, bring it into the area so they can capture it and kill it. But there's a scene where she's in the tree with it, and she fails. She falls, she gets knocked out, and she has to be carried back to the village or the settlement by her brother. And, if she was such a Mary Sue, she wouldn't fail. She wouldn't have the scene where she falls into the bog. And even though it kind of reminded me of the Swamp of Sadness from Neverending Story, she wasn't able to save herself right away. It took like 4 or 5 tries. And even though you knew she wasn't going to die, because it happens like early on in the movie, she didn't do it on the first try. It took like 4 or 5 tries to save herself. Anyways, Amber Midthunder, I think she's really good. She's very likable, in my opinion. Nice to look at. And you believe her because she understands she's not as strong as the male. She has to use her mind. And she does a really good job, just like with her body language, the way she looks around. And when the action happens, I really like the way she does it. She's really good. The actor who plays her brother, Tabe, he's really good. And what I like about Tabe is he's not like the stereotypical male Native American we see when it comes to like the females. She's not looked down upon by him. She, because a lot of the other males in the tribe, you're a woman, you're too young, you can't do this, blah, 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 stay where you belong. He encourages her. He wants her to succeed. He knows a lot of times she's in over her head with the mountain lion, and he tells her, he's like, yeah, you failed. I had to carry you back. But he also gives her credit because it was her idea that he used to capture the mountain lion, to kill the mountain lion. And I liked that. And he was such a badass too. He's not in it as much as I wanted him to be, because there's a scene where he ends up getting captured by some French fur trappers, So it's basically that helps it. So it's Naru versus the Predator for some time. But when he is finally rescued, and there's a great scene where him and her they're tied up together, and he's cut across the chest, and the blood is used to draw out the Predator. That's what they think the Predator is going to be drawn out to. It's a great fight there, and his final moment, I guess you would say, is badass. He comes in like a bat out of hell on the back of a horse with a spear, spears the back of the Predator, and he knows it's his final moment. And he says, there's a line that keeps being repeated. He says that line like basically, you will go no farther, or I will go no farther. And you believe it. I really like this guy. The other characters, there really isn't any other characters worth any merit. There, like I said, there's younger Native Americans, Comanches, part of the tribe that they're just there to kind of look down on Naru, talk shit about Naru, and this and that. But I like the scene where there's a search party, because eventually she goes out by herself to capture this beast, because she's trying to convince them that it's not a grizzly bear. It's walking on 2 feet and it's heavier than a bear. So she wants to go to hunt it herself, and Tabe sends out like a search party. And she does. She has a great fist fight with I guess you would say, the leader of the party. And she gets her ass whooped. She whoops his ass. But basically, that's what the other characters are there for. The French trappers are there just to be the French. You know what I mean? The assholes. And that's all they are. They're there. You find out they're the ones that skin the buffalo. That's a hard scene. And Amber Mid-Thunder, her reaction to the skinned buffalo is that's kind of sad to see the way she reacts to that, the shock, the disgust. But they're just there to kind of be the villains, I guess you would say. And I do wish we would have had subtitles a little bit, so we knew what the fur trappers were saying. There was one interpreter, because eventually they captured, like I said, they captured Tabe. They do capture Naru. And they have an interpreter who speaks to her, but I wish we knew what they were saying, because there's a lot of times when it's just them speaking French, and that's it. No subtitles, nothing like that. And it's kind of confusing because they only speak French, but the Comanche, they're speaking English and Comanche at the same time. So I kind of wish we would have known what they were saying at least. But other than that, actors, it's basically just Tabe and Naru, and the rest are just there for the story. The Predator. I really like this Predator. I like how it's different. It did take me a little while. You can't see it with the glare probably. It did take me a little while to get used to the mask. And you can't see that. Okay. Because instead of the normal space age mask, I guess you would say, you can't really see it. We have a bone mask. It's made of bone. We still have the 3 lights. But this bone mask doesn't cover the whole face. We still get to see the mandibles under it. I don't know if I like that. It's something new. It's something you gotta get used to. Like, maybe after a few more watches or a few more viewings, I'll grow to appreciate it more. It's kind of like with the new Ninja Turtle movies. I know, weird segue. I grew up with the 90s version, and then when this new Michael Bay version came out, at first I'm like, this looks like garbage. Eventually I grew to accept it. So that was different. I like how we get to see more technology again. He's got his little shield, which is a badass weapon because he doesn't just use it as a shield for protection. There's a scene where he almost decapitates some people. Done really well. I like how this type of, I don't know, I know it's 300 years prior to the first one. I don't know if this is a different breed of species, because we know there's different breeds. If you've seen Predators, you know that there's 2 different types of tribe. You have the classic Predator, and then you have like Berserker and Falcon and all that. Well, because the face in this one looks a little different, but then again, all the Predators look different. But I like how the technology on this one is different because it's a little bit more primitive. Because when he does the sight, you know, the triangle thing, it's not a plasma cannon. It shoots out like spears. And that's cool. And what's neat is it's like a targeting system. It's like a homing system. And let's just say that is eventually used against the Predator. So maybe that's why they got rid of this homing spear system and moved to the plasma cannon. But I liked how that was different. We still get the classic blades. The blades are awesome. They still have the cloaking device. And again, maybe because it's the primitive predator, it looks a little different. It's not as clean, I guess you would say, as you would see in the previous movie. So maybe with this defeat, this is a learning experience for them, so they change their technology to improve on the hunt. The violence in this is pretty good, in my opinion. We get some. Well, first off, the bear scene. We've all seen it in the trailer. That bear doesn't go down easy. We only see a little bit in the trailer. That bear, wonky CGI at times, but it puts up a fight. But when he lifts it up, we've seen that scene where he lifts it up in front of Naru. We get blood and guts and stuff like that. We get skinned snakes. I love the scene, speaking of snakes, I love the scene where we just see a little ant crawling. Then suddenly it's crawling up in the air, you know what I mean? Because it's on top of the predator. And then, it's eaten and stuff like that. And then the snake is skinned. We get a scene where a predator takes on, I don't know if it's a wolf or a coyote. Doesn't end well for that animal. And it's slowly hunting down all these creatures that it's never experienced before on this earth. And then finally we get to him fighting man. And listen, again, if it was woke, if this movie was woke, because we now have not just a female protagonist, but now we have Native Americans, I don't know how it would be woke about having Native Americans, because they get fucked up. It's not just the French fur trappers that get, sliced and diced. The Comanche rescue party, we have arms cut off, stabbings, them thrown around like rag dolls. So that's what I'm saying. I do wish we didn't have the Wilhelm scream, the Wilhelm scream, however you say it. That kind of took me out of it, because that scream is kind of used for comedic purposes. And during a scene where these Comanches are getting fucked up, I don't want to hear that. But I think the gore is pretty decent, especially after what we've seen before. Like with The Predator and Predators, which weren't as gory as they could have been. So I think this was kind of a step up. Let's see. I did not care for so much how the Predator was, in my opinion, kind of easily outsmarted. I understand, like I said, we're going with Naru, and I mean, she's really good with the axe. I love the axe tied to her wrist so she can throw it and bring it back. And like, again, speaking of axes, how the Predator uses an axe on a Frenchman, really fucking cool. But I get how she had to use her mind, and that's also a callback to Dutch in the original. I think, I don't know, because I could say the Predator was kind of defeated too easy in that scene, but then you think about it, the final fight wasn't just, boom and done. But then again, the Dutch kind of defeated the Predator a little too easy too. I don't know. Maybe it's a little different because in the original, the Predator kind of got the last laugh with the explosion, and Naru defeats this thing wholeheartedly. I kind of wish there was more to the way it was defeated, but when she returns home to the tribe, and I never fucking realized it. I feel like a dumbass. We've seen the poster where it's a close up of her face, and we got the targeting system. She's wearing green war paint, Predator blood. When she returns home, that's a cool scene. Anything else? I just, in all honesty, I really liked it. A lot of people thought it was kind of boring. I thought it was perfect build-up, in my opinion. We meet the Comanches, we meet the tribe, and we learn the characters. Like I said, I love Naru and Tabe's relationship. And we have a little bit of Predator sprinkled in, because it takes a little while for the Predator to attack the Comanches, attack the trappers. And I thought that was good build-up, in my opinion. I liked how we have some Easter eggs to the original ones. And it's fan service, but it's not like, boom, in-your-face fan service. We have a couple lines, if it bleeds, we can kill it. Do it, kill me now. Like, we hear that. It's been talked about already. If you're not on the internet, whoops, sorry, it's spoiled. We get to see the rifle, the gun from part 2, and that we get to see where that came from, how that came to be, how someone got it. So that's neat. I will say this: I love Naru's little war cry, her victory cry, her scream. That was real cool. And I do like how she comes home, she does her thing, and then we have the mid credits, and we have the story told in I don't want to say cave drawings, but in drawings like like the Native Americans would put like on tapestries and stuff like that. But then eventually we see a storm, we see predator ships being drawn in, physically drawn in. So we know something happened, because also we got to figure out how did that chief predator get the gun that he had to give to Danny Glover in part 2. So overall, I'm going to say I really liked Prey. I had a lot of fun with it. I really like I said, I really liked Naru. I really liked her relationship with Tabe. Excuse me. And the blood was good. The fight was good. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. Getting kind of choked up. No, that's one of those things. Obviously need a drink. I like the relationship with Naru and Tabe. I like the weaponry of the Predator. It's still going to take me a little while to get used to the new look. The action, I think, is really good. When Tabe comes in on that fucking horse and hits the spear. I like the scene with the trappers. I like, how they're going to... There's another nod to Predator. Tabe, Native American, gets sliced down the chest. I like that scene where they're drawing the Predator. It looks creepy, and that's a good fight. Like, in all the mist and the trees that are bare, and you get a Predator not just killing all these trappers, but it's leaping from tree to tree. Great action sequence. Like I said, I wish the final fight wasn't a bad final fight. I kind of wish the Predator was defeated differently, but that's just me nitpicking. Overall, I've talked about this enough. I really liked Prey. Is it near the original? Fuck no. Not even close. Is it the best one since the original, a lot of people are saying? I don't know. Because I really like Predator 2. I'll put it at number 3 if I have to rank, and I hate ranking things. It's definitely over The Predator, and I'm putting it over Predators. And one thing I like about this is it opens up me and Marty from a Trash Picture Show. He's my Predator guy. It opens up a lot of avenues. Let's now see, since it's the past, let's see a Predator take on a pirate, a samurai, a Viking. You know what I mean? If it falls into the timeline, within 300 years. I'm not a mathematician or a historian. I don't know what eras are available or not, but that's really cool. And I think this has been a hit. Like, it's cool. Even Jesse Ventura and Bill Duke have praised this movie and praised Amber Mid-Thunder. Now we just gotta wait to see what Arnie says. But overall, highly recommend Prey. If you're a Predator fan, I think you would like this film. There you go. That's it. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. All that crap. Click in the comments below. Tell me what you think of this movie. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Are you gonna defend it? Do you think it's woke? Whatever. Keep the comments clean, or you're gone. All right? I don't have time for that crap. But I'm all for you saying your opinion. Just keep it civil. What do I have planned? Finally getting back into the Phantasm series. More vampire stuff. And, Kickboxer franchise finally. Shark Week just fucking killed me. That's it. Cheers.